Sit. Good. So yeah, when you're doing this mat exercise, no matter where it is, whether it's out where there's a lot of distractions like out here in public or in your house, you always have her sit first and wait and calm sit stay. Pat her chest and say go. Or you can say go to your mat and then say down. And then if she's perfect like that and she just does everything the first time you tell her, good, you get to reward her. I'm doing this mat exercise out here in public because I want to film her in a situation that's as difficult as possible for her. Because if she can do this out here, she can definitely do it anywhere in your environment, inside your house, and she can handle, or even in your yard or wherever, she'll be able to handle any distraction there if she can do this successfully. Good, because there's always people riding past on bikes or walking past, and sometimes even dogs coming out across the street. So this is great practice for her, being able to focus and stay there no matter what until I release her develops a very high level of calm after you practice this for a while. You can see what's happened just after a few weeks. Also, you know, after you've done it for a while, for a few more weeks, good, you'll see a bigger difference in this because she'll be practicing it with you in your environment, and that should make her a lot better than she is even now. Of course, I wouldn't drop the leash out here, but if I had a long line, you could step farther away and come back. You can practice pulling on the leash a little bit. Good. A lot of dogs, if their owner pulls on the leash, they get up to come to you because that's what's always happened. You pull them around, and so they think that you want them to come to you. So she knows on this mat, there's no way she gets up. Oh, well, there's only one way. No other way, and that's the impression I've given her. That's what we've taught her. Good. So no matter what happens, she stays calm. No matter who walks past, she stays calm. And also with noises too, knocking on doors. Of course, you're practicing that in my house. Those sorts of things, which we'll practice at your house. Nothing has her leave this place except for you. Good. Releasing her in the official way. The reason for doing this exercise is that the byproduct of this level of focus is that the dog over time starts to really calm down. When she comes off this mat, even if you just do it 5 minutes a day, and you do it the way that we're showing you, she'll start keeping a little bit of that calmness on her free time. And pretty soon, good, this calmness that you see on the mat will take over her life. As long as you continue this, it doesn't take a lot of time. Just make sure that you do it the right way. It's about the quality of how you do it, not how much time you have her on the mat. It's not a doggy bed, so it's not someplace she'll go to sleep on. That's why you do it for just short periods of time. If you want to do it for 7 or 8 minutes or 10 minutes, as long as you're focused on her and you're doing this with her like this, that's okay. Or you can split it up to a couple of shorter periods per day if you wanted to do it more than once. But this, first of all, develops a really solid downstay. Whatever she does on the mat carries over to what happens in real life. If you say down in public, she'll start having a great downstay just anywhere without the mat because you've been practicing this way. If she ever makes a mistake and gets up, I was hoping she would out here so I could show you, but if she doesn't, I'll just pretend that she gets up. You're going to say no, and just saying no might make her go back because that's what we're teaching her. But if she doesn't, you need to lift your left foot. See how I turned to my left, and she'll go down. Or if she's next to you, you say no. Do this and she'll go down. If she leaves the mat, you say no. You get the leash next to you, step into her, do a little left circle. She'll be right here. Put her back where you want her. Put her back, don't say a word. You already said down once. And that first time she needs to know you meant it the first time, and even if it's 5 minutes later, that's what she stays doing. So the only time that you would ever say the D-O-W-N word again would be if you're going to do something really difficult for her to handle, like leaving the house, knocking on the door, something like that. Before you go outside to do that, or whatever it is, you can remind her down like that. Good. That's a reminder of what to keep doing. It's different than repeating the command if she doesn't do it the first time. Here comes another bicycle rider. You'll see her look and then back at me. Good. I gave her a double reward. That was perfect. You want to be doing distractions like that. If you ever do this out where you're going to have unexpected distractions showing up, you want to use them like that. It's the best way to train. You use in real life situations. You see it coming, you're likely going to see it before she does, most of the time. Watch her notice it, and then she's already at the point where she'll notice it, but then she'll choose to turn back to look at you. You need to be right there. Good. To reinforce that new behavior. It's an involuntary reaction to notice something and look, but it's a choice and a new behavior pattern to turn away from that distraction, look back at you, and she's going to want to do it more and more and more every time you're there to reinforce that with something good. Good. So now I'm going to take her off the mat. This is the only way that she would ever leave here. And same with the downstay out in public. When you come back and stand next to her, then she knows, okay, we're about to leave. And you say, you pat your leg for a while just to really help her here and say, okay. And then sit. See what would happen if we didn't have the dogs do a calm sit stay and leave from a calm sit stay? They'd launch out of their downstay and take off. And that would kind of destroy a lot of the calmness that we're trying to develop here. So she's still on the clock until she sits, and then you release her from a calm sit stay. Just like this. See how I'm gonna, with my right hand leaning over, touching your chest and saying, go. Now she's free. See how much calmer she is when you release her that way than if you would just let her launch off the mat and take off. So that's the way we always release them out of the downstay on the mat as well as downstays in public. Now she can have a little free time now. Well, let's go over here and sniff.